Will Portman from Iron Covenant Gym. Sitting here with Josh Cooper. His resume is way too long for me to explain. Josh, I'm going to let you tell a little bit about yourself.
Alright, so I'm a certified personal trainer, but also include biomechanics specialist, nutrition specialist. I think you get the gist of that. This goes on for a lot of specialties, but very well versed, and I'm here to give you guys a lot of great information.
Fantastic. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over some bench press 101. We're going to go over a couple things like hand placement, foot placement, head placement, a bunch of placements, right? So Josh, tell us a little bit about bench pressing. Like, who is the bench press for?
Alright, so the bench press is for everybody.
Cool.
If you're a bikini competitor, if you're just somebody who's trying to get fit for the gym, for the beach, if you're a powerlifter, obviously you're going to do the bench press, right? Bench press is for everybody. Why is the bench press for everybody? Well, me and Will, we love the bench.
Absolutely.
But some people who may not necessarily be into the strength training thing and may not train a bench, it can benefit your whole entire body. You use your whole entire body, and we're going to talk about that in the setup.
All right, cool. So, when should we do bench press? Like, when do you do bench press?
Bench press, the beginning of your workout always. You might hear some rebuttals to that, or people who may not follow that programming, but you want to prioritize that as your main movement and build the rest of your workout around it.
Absolutely. Because you're going to use a lot of energy and effort, right? And you're getting that heavy weight up off your chest. All right, cool. So, you want to go over some of the equipment, or just want to go over some do's and don'ts? Or,
Well, let's hit the rep ranges real quick. So, some of the rep ranges you guys may use, may have heard of. So, for muscle building, we probably want to stick between the 10 to 12 rep range. If you can do more 10 to 12 reps with that weight, obviously increase it. I promise you, it's enough. You will get one heck of a workout by doing 10 to 12 reps. All you can get. Now, strength, because I know especially a lot of you guys are focused on power, right?
Absolutely.
You know, stick between those 3 to 5. There's no reason to be doing 1 rep maxes. It's cool for YouTube. It's cool for Facebook, but it'll also get you in a hospital real quick. So
absolutely.
leave it for competition only and train in that 3 to 5.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so what we'll do now is we'll go over actually like how to set up for the bench. All right, Josh, I'm just going to sit here and we'll just play like I've never benched before ever. So just walk me through. So what do I need to do now?
All right, first off, make sure you don't hit your head when you sit back on the bench.
All right, I'm going to lay back here. There we go. All right.
So he's going to set, you see how he's set up nice and square and even? Okay, he's already got his chest out. So you're pulling the shoulder blades back, bringing his elbows close to his side. Okay, you see a lot of people want to start up and grab the bar out here. You want to make sure your elbows are nice and tight. So you set up to where you're going to be in the bench before you ever touch the bar.
Right.
That way you got your chest nice and out. He's squeezing his shoulder blades together. He's got his feet nice and firm on the ground. Again, you might see some videos a little different than this, but he definitely want to make sure we push through with our heel. So we start in the setup of planting our heel nice and strong. He's got his glutes tight. It's really important to do that to stabilize the rest of your body.
Right.
So he's going to grab the bar. Okay, so that's the first thing. You notice he adjusted the bar to make sure it was even. You definitely want to make sure you do that. You probably can assume what would happen if you don't. So he's going to grab this. Now, you'll see a lot of people grab a little bit further out. Now, the only thing that can happen when you do this, lift up, and come down. We talked about keeping your elbows nice and close to the body to get enough power. Well, as you can see, his elbow's pretty far away from here. Now, a lot of you guys probably bench like that. You're wondering, well, why is that bad? I do that. Well, what happens is it just weakens your bench. I know you probably can hit 400 pounds that way, but imagine if we corrected that. Put your bar up. Bring your hands in a little bit. Now push up. All right, bring it down, Will. Okay, so now he's a lot tighter. You see his chest is out. What does that mean? That means he's stretched and involved more of his pec. So if you want to target more of your chest to get the most power out of your chest and all the muscles in your body, you want to bring this elbow nice and close. Because when he explodes up, there we go. You can see his chest is tight. It's all involved. When your elbow flares out like that, you really lose the ability to focus in on the chest. All right, so Will showed you some of the do's and some of the don'ts. I'm going to show you some of the definitely don'ts. All right, so things that I see quite often in the gym. Now, so some of the don'ts that I see that are big don'ts. Okay, here, something of this nature. One leg up. Okay, guys, you're not working on your core by doing that. You are, but you're decreasing your stability in the movement. If we want to train our core, we want to be specific about that and work that at the end of our workout.
Right. Chest days.
Yeah, and while how Will showed you, plant your heels, squeeze your glutes, pull your shoulders back, plant your head firm. I know a lot of guys want to bring their head up. When you do that, you change the mechanics of your body and you lose strength that way. So plant your head nice and firm, and you want to push yourself through the floor. So you push up. You're not pushing, you're pushing your way to the floor. Probably one of the biggest safety things, as well as it transfers over to your power, is where and how do you grip the bar.
What do I do with these?
Alright, so grip the bar, Will.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going to talk about some don'ts real quick. So come up. Now the biggest don't, me and Will both talked about this. This bar not being lined up with your elbow and your shoulder. One, power generation and strength, but most importantly, safety and stability. Because if you're under a lot of weight, it could really damage your wrist.
You can feel the pressure, holding the bar like this, you can feel the pressure on the wrist.
Yeah. So what you want to do is use those forearm muscles. And that's why the bench press is such a great movement, because we're using everything from our forearms, our biceps, our triceps, everything to stabilize this movement. So Will's got this thing, he's got this thing locked on tight. Now, go back. Another one we want to show you guys, okay, is if you have too narrow of a grip, because there's a time and place to do a close grip bench press, but as your primary movement, we'll grip this. All right. A little bit, yeah, there we go. Now go down. Okay, there we go. So Will's actually got a pretty awesome tricep preps extensor movement here, but he did too much right. So, all right, so flare those elbows out.
Okay.
There we go. So this is something I see a whole lot is when people are pressing, their hands are too far in, and their wrist and their elbows taking too much pressure here. Obviously, we can do a time and place for a close grip bench press, but there's a complete, as Will showed you just now, there's a completely different form for that. So we definitely want to make sure that we have a nice wide grip. There we go. What's wide? Wide is so that when he brings this down, okay, his forearm is perpendicular and not bent. So it's straight up and down. From his elbow to his wrist is a straight line with his arm. You want to make sure you keep the elbow under the wrist at the bottom of the movement. If it's not like that, if your wrist is too far out or too far in and not directly in line with your elbow, that's when you know you got a problem. Because when he presses this up, boom, it's one straight line.
All right, what we're going to do now is go over some common equipment here used in the gym. All right, Josh, if you help me break this down, if you don't mind, we're about to start with.
Let's start with wraps. Okay, and I know there's a lot of people who don't agree with having wraps, so we're going to talk about why they can be important and then how they can prevent injury. So we have two different types right here. So we got wheels right here, which are, these things are tough, man. If you're looking to hit 350, 455 pounds, this is going to be it. And that's in your selection process for gear. You want to make sure you get one that's nice and rigid. Right. What brand is this?
This is Bear Grips by Bear Complex, so make sure you check those guys out. These are tough, thick, sturdy. These are the way to go.
Now, I got mine here too. Now these, I call these more kind of universal multi-application grips. Lots of words, right? But they're not as rigid. So I do these as my primary grip for bench, shoulder press, you name it. But if I'm going to use something that that's solely for my bench, focus on my strength and power goals, I'm gonna have something that's nice and rigid like this. So think of that too, and what your goal
Yeah,
is.
exactly. But whatever you purchase, make sure you have what your goal is. Have that in mind before you get what you get can help you achieve your goal, right?
Right, exactly. You don't want to get something that's competition, quality if you don't necessarily plan on having those goals. Maybe you could go with something that's not as rigid and allows you to be more flexible with it. Now we also have some elbow sleeves here too, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So first thing we will maybe want to talk about is, do elbow sleeves actually increase your bench? Well, of course they do, because what they actually do is help your elbows track more effectively, and you're going to be a little more stable in the movement. That transfers over to more power.
Absolutely.
I think a common misconception is that it's going to help your actually add weight to your press. There's other tools for that.
Absolutely.
There's other tools, but
Absolutely.
the sleeves aren't necessarily going to be those. But we do have a couple types here. So I have some SPDs, and Will, you got some Bear Complex grips. Now these are a little bit different. I'm going to get closer to the camera so you guys can see. So as you can see, this one's a tad bit thicker. It's a little more rigid, okay?
Right.
So this is going to be something that definitely want to think about using maybe only on your primary movements, okay? Just for those heavier weights. Now, something that I like that Will has is, and I'm definitely going to be buying myself a pair, is these aren't necessarily as rigid. So I could take these and, I could use these pretty much throughout most of my workout.
Absolutely. Keeps everything warmed up and tightened up.
Exactly. And that's the purpose of these, is to keep your joints, it brings more fluid, more blood into this area, and that's going to help that move more fluidly. And that's really important in preventing injury. Something like this is going to do that as well, but you definitely, what I always do is put on a hoodie when I put these on, especially these, because they're a little bit hard to get on, but this is definitely something that, for you guys who are focusing only on that movement, this would be something you want to purchase for that.
Absolutely. So well, let's talk belts here, right? Josh, what's the purpose of this belt? Why would I need to go and purchase a belt on this?
Well, and that's need. It's definitely there. Not cheating. It doesn't make your core any stronger by not using a belt.
Absolutely.
It just puts more stress on your vertebrae, ultimately at the end of the day.
Right.
That may not make a whole lot of sense. I'm sure a lot of people have rebuttals to that. But me, one person in particular, and I'm sure Will has injuries too, from the military, is that I have some compromised integrity on our vertebrae.
Right.
So and that really exacerbates a lot of the issues that you see if you have an injury. You feel everything.
Absolutely.
So what these belts help do, okay, is they allow you to have something to push against. And that's a big thing when we're in the bench and we set up. One thing you want to do is, and that's why the bench is so important, tighten your core, and you can actually push against the belt. It creates more thoracic pressure, which allows you to be able to be more explosive. When you come down the bottom and you hold your breath, you inhale, and then exhale on the way up, it allows you to do that a little bit more powerfully. Also, it's going to stabilize your core if you're squatting. And the difference in these two belts, that's definitely important. There's a big difference here. We'll show you that.
Again, this is the Bear Complex belt again, right?
This is a Rogue Fitness. Now, this is a single prong. They make double prong, which, that's the prong. No. So the double is going to be 2 right here, but they also have a lever belt. I actually got this one from Rogue. They're usually $90 to $120. I could have paid $90 to $120 for a lever belt, but I wanted to give something else a try. And I would say that for you guys focusing on powerlifting and strength-based stuff, get yourself a lever belt. It's going to be a lot easier to put on. You literally, there's a lever, it hooks in, you snap the lever, and it's tight. No coming loose, no grabbing a rat, and pulling the belt tight. But You know, what I like about this one here, and I always have two belts. I don't have that exact same one, but I have another less rigid belt. Because this is a 10mm belt.
That's a thick belt.
Yeah, very rigid. You probably only want to use these for your main movements,
Absolutely,
right? Versus, well, you got that one, and
it's a little more versatile, I'd say. You can actually probably do more.
Yeah, using it for like maybe like your accessory movements, especially for you athletes who may or people who may want to be focusing on. And there's going to be some difference in opinion here, but maybe more physique sports and keeping that waist nice and tight and small.
Yep.
Having a belt like that to use through the rest of your workout is going to be really important. But as far as for this application here, you know, based on what your goal is, if you're training specifically for that sport, get yourself a thick belt.
Absolutely.
A 10mm. You 13mm guys, that's probably going to be competition only, so just keep that in mind. And we got some shoes here. We actually have some shoes that you do wear and some shoes that you don't wear. I got the shoes you don't wear. So, and again,
tell us, why don't we wear those shoes there?
All right, so these, I'm sure everyone knows what this is right here. No, I didn't burn it. But this is definitely not for the gym. I mean, whether you're training arms or whether you're, you know, on a bench press or whether you're doing deadlifts or squats. You're going to go to the gym wearing this. Go to the club too. Absolutely. But I'm definitely not
casual wear shoe.
Right. I'm definitely not going to be training in it.
This is the goal oriented shoe.
Right. You can't properly get a good drive. These are made to give.
Cushion.
Right. When you're down in the stance training for the bench or squat, you don't want anything that's going to give in the sole. Okay? You don't want that. You want something like this. And again, I know a lot of you Converse fans. I wear Converse in the gym all the time. Oh yeah, man. But I've found that when I wear an elevated heel shoe, this is what, the Nike O'Malley 03. Yeah. I wear the Adidas side of that, the Addy Power, but those elevated heels, I actually really like these, by the way. They're all super sharp. Camo, you gotta love it, right? Yeah. But this elevated heel allows you to drive more through your bench. So when you're at bottom, we talked about that heel drive.
Absolutely.
And how much more power you get out of that.
Transfer. Transfers all the way up.
You athletes who are trained specifically for that, you know, this is going to be, I mean, you're going to want this on your squat, but you're definitely going to want it on your bench press too.
Absolutely.
Maybe some people who aren't necessarily athlete oriented, they're not training for a specific thing, you don't have to go out and fork out, you know, $180, $200 for these things or more. You're fine not wearing these, but think of going with something that's flat.
Flat bottom.
Yeah, a Converse. Can't go wrong with Converse.
That's very
old school. It looks cool.
Those are lifting old school.
Absolutely. Maybe not try and go barefooted. I don't know. You know, you did have to think of some safety stuff in mind. If you drop that weight on your foot,
absolutely.
Probably don't want to be barefoot. I've done that.
Absolutely. And depending on where you train, some gyms allow the barefoot, some don't, right?
Definitely something to consider there. So we've got lots of cool equipment here, and we'll try and throw in links to where you can find this stuff too. Because I know a lot of people think it's hard to find these things. They're out there. We'll throw those links in there for you so you can definitely check out their gear. There's sizing instructions and fitment. You definitely want to make sure that you get something that fits right. That fits right. And think of if you're ordering this belt, and me, I typically wear a hoodie in the gym. Yeah. So when I order mine, I measure it with my hoodie because, again, that's how I'm going to train.
With the hoodie, you want to measure with the hoodie.
Exactly. And the same thing with the wrist straps. For the most part, you know, these things, they're not absolutes. You don't have to have them. But I can promise you, they'll keep you injury-free a lot longer.
Absolutely.
So you guys definitely make sure to check out more of Will's videos, a lot more coming soon. We're going to span off of this. We're also going to check out his Facebook and his Instagram because, you know, he's posting stuff all the time. We're going to try and give you guys as many helpful tips as possible, as well as products. You know, Will's a certified personal trainer, and I've walked on in him doing some sessions before too because Will knows his stuff. So definitely check out his things, and if you're in the area, come swing by Iron Coverage.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.